Welcome to Vsb News Online for Tuesday, May 12th. I'm Peter Cattell. The uproar over the plan to redevelop the L.F. Wade International Airport via a scheme in which the Canadian Commercial Corporation has chosen the developer has exploded overnight into a major controversy. The People's Campaign has claimed publicly that they have documents that allege the ministers involved had been privy to choosing the developer, Aecon Concessions, in collusion with the CCC. Brian Darby reads the statement issued this afternoon by the People's Campaign.
The press statement reads as follows. The People's Campaign have in our possession documents that reveal that the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Tourism Development and Transport have played active roles in a plot that will give hundreds of millions of dollars in government revenues and operational control of the L.F. Wade International Airport to Aecon Concessions. The documents can be found online at airportemails.tumblr.com. The People's Campaign will be holding a town hall meeting on Thursday, May the 14th, starting at 5:30 at St. Paul's Centennial Hall. We are calling upon all Bermudians to make their voices heard on Friday, May the 15th, beginning at 9 o'clock at the House of Assembly, demanding that all persons involved in this be held fully accountable. In solidarity, the People's Campaign representatives. Brian Darby reporting for Vsb News.
Premier Michael Dunkley is in Orlando, Florida, where tomorrow he will discuss Bermuda's hurricane resilience at the Governor's Hurricane Conference. Charles Webb has the details.
The theme of this year's conference is Rethink Resilience, Connecting Capabilities for Stronger Communities. As Minister of National Security, the Premier is not without experience in the subject. The event is being organized by Florida's emergency management community and stakeholder partners, and present will be representatives from various governments, the private sector, emergency management personnel, the healthcare industry, voluntary organizations, and related professions. The idea is to enhance their professional knowledge, foster interagency cooperation, and collaboratively plan to improve disaster readiness. As chair of the Emergency Measures Organization, the Premier will have first-hand knowledge about Bermuda's hurricane experiences. He will also meet with another delegate, Dr. Richard Knabb, Director of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. All of this activity should put him and us in a better standing when we face our hurricane season later this year. For Vsb News, I'm Charles Webb.
The nursing profession is looking for a few good men and women to join the field of nursing. And as Bermuda joined the rest of the world in celebrating Nurses Month on the City Hall steps today, Chief Nursing Officer in the Ministry of Health and Environment, Maxine Hayward-Caesar, talked to Charles Webb about the method being used to attract nurses. It's called the Health Springboard.
It is an opportunity that we can expose high school students to different healthcare systems, particularly nursing. That is one area that we really want to capture their interest, as well as physiotherapy, occupational therapy. There is social work. There are many different psychiatric nursing, lots of different areas.
So how do they get involved?
They get involved through their schools in the year 2, and they actually get to sign up for it. They have to apply, and then they go through an interview process, and they will actually be with us for a week doing some work shadowing, as well as we will be doing a curriculum with them.
You used to hear a lot about incentives. Is anything being done to incentivize them to get into the trade?
For good nurses, you don't need an incentive. That is something that is inherent in you. It's a passion that you have. to actually make a difference.
But what about males? How would you get them more interested?
Males are a harder nut to crack.
Aren't we usually?
We really would love to see males enter the profession. There are wonderful opportunities for males, and in most areas, females dominate. So males could certainly do a part in terms of, you have correctional nursing, you have psychiatric nursing, you also have nurse educators, you have forensic nurses. It's just a wide spectrum.
After their Easter break, the two branches of the Bermuda Parliament will be getting back to work this week. The Senate, unusually, will be going first and will be meeting on Wednesday in the Cabinet building at 10 a.m. with an agenda that contains just one order of the day: the second reading of the Municipalities Act 2015, already passed by the House of Assembly. On Friday, the House of Assembly will meet in the Sessions House, also at 10 a.m., with a fairly heavy agenda that could take up much of the day. Marine scientists believe that a bloom of algae in our inshore waters could be to blame for the deaths of hundreds of fish since the weekend. The wind is expected to bring still more bodies ashore. Chris Lodge tells us what is happening.
According to the Ministry of Health and Environment, several fish die-offs have been reported since Saturday, and a change in wind direction may bring more fish carcasses to shore, but it would also disperse the bloom and reoxygenate the water column. A Department of Environmental Protection spokeswoman saying, "We expect conditions which cause the die-off to diminish. Already a check of Shelley Bay reveals no further mortality. Swimmers at Shelley Bay have not reported any illness, and the Department of Health has no reports of related illness. The first discovery of dead red-eared sardines, also known as pilchards, was in the region of Shelley Bay. A biologist estimated that several hundred fish had been affected and observed a suspected algae bloom, which may be the cause of the dead fish. Simply put, lack of oxygen. Dead fish of the same species also reported in the Spanish Point area, Whalebone Bay and Coot Pond, St. George's, but the number of fish at these sites was small. A further suspected algae bloom was reported in the waters off Tucker's Town and another along the north shore of Harrington Sound. The plankton bloom was coupled with calm weather and light easterly winds and created low oxygen levels in the waters of western-facing bays. I'm Chris Lodge, Vsb News.
A number of government ministers, led by Premier Michael Dunkley, have inspected the progress being made at the redeveloped Pink Beach Club on the South Shore in Smiths Parish. They found developer Gilbert Lopes preparing to put the roof on the first building, which houses the public areas such as the dining room, plus 12 guests' units. Additionally, the Beach Club foundations are in, and construction is beginning on the second block with its 33 units. Premier Dunkley said he had been impressed by what had already been accomplished and which had translated into real jobs for Bermudians. And we'll be back with more news right after this.
In an effort to make Bermuda's roads safer, and in partnership with Bermuda Police Service and the Bermuda Road Safety Council, Defence Broadcasting is launching a safe driving campaign. Complete with thumb bands, come into Defence Broadcasting and 94 Reed Street and make the commitment to drive safer and slower for yourself. Your voice could be featured on the radio. Get yourself a thumb band as a reminder of your commitment to drive safer and with fewer distractions. While you're at it, why not get one for someone in your life who also needs a reminder that our roads do not discriminate. They can take anyone's life. Let's drive safe, Bermuda, and arrive alive. Peace and love. Safe journeys.
Since the Bermuda Tourism Authority started investing in local tourism experiences in 2014, some $1.7 million has been awarded to entrepreneurs with ideas for enhancing the visitor experience. The BTA has now produced a further $75,000 in grant money and is preparing to make further tourism experiences investments. But first, it is launching another in its popular series of lunch and learn sessions, which will start on Tuesday, May the 19th, at the BTA offices. Subjects covered will include consumer research, business plans, social media, and experience. To RSVP, go to experiences@bermudatourism.com. The Bermuda Water Safety Council regrets to inform the boating public that the water safety seminar scheduled for Sunday, May 17th has had to be postponed until further notice. Council Chairman Ralph Richardson explains that due to unforeseen circumstances, the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club is not able to host the event on the date scheduled. Mr. Richardson asked those who plan to attend the event to stay tuned for a new date, which will be emailed to those already registered. A public announcement will also be made when a new date is confirmed. After enduring their first week in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, which saw them engaged in intensive public order training and having to sleep in the open during Tropical Storm Ana, the Bermuda Regiment soldiers have reached the climax of their 2-week camp. Yesterday, they were flown by Sea Stallion transport helicopter from field operations to a combat town where they will be put through their paces in a major public order exercise. This will include a number of scenarios, from basic patrolling and vehicle checkpoints to dealing with minor disturbances and major riots. A 6-strong team of Bermuda police officers who specialize in firearm training will also take part in the public order exercise and observe the regiment troops in action. The Bermuda Economic Development Corporation's Northeast Hamilton Economic Empowerment Zone is welcoming the opening of the Uptown Market, the 4th market to be designated as a registered market in Bermuda. Adrian Smat has more.
If you're interested in buying local or want another attraction to send tourists to get a real sense of Bermudian spirit, you now have another opportunity to do so. On Saturday, May 23rd, the grand opening of the Uptown Market will be taking place. The market will be located in the heart of Hamilton at 32 Court Street, which just happens to be in the parking lot of the Jamaican Grill. From 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., visitors to the market will be able to enjoy food, fun, local wares, and entertainment. The Uptown Market, brainchild of Economic Development Officer Roseanne Christopher and business owner Marcia Stowe, already has 10 vendors signed up to participate, and applications are still being accepted. As the opening falls on the eve of May 24th, the Uptown Market promises to be a shopping venue that all can enjoy. There will be fun castles, music, entertainment, and food. Roxanne Christopher stated, "The Uptown Market is a wonderful opportunity for small business owners to sell their wares in a community environment. Markets showcase the entrepreneurial spirit of Bermudians in its truest form." The other 3 registered markets include the Rubber Tree Market in Warwick, Hidden Treasures Market in Somerset, and Old Town Market in St. George's. If you're interested in more information, you can contact Roxanne Christopher at info@bedc.bm. For VSB News, I'm Adrian Smat.
And now we turn to Earl Baisden with the latest from the sports desk.
America's Cup syndicate, Emirates Team New Zealand, finally got some good news after a rough year and a half. Emirates Airline announced it will return as the team's major sponsor, which could help it reach the starting line of the Challenger Series in Bermuda in 2017. In a cup cycle full of upheaval, this has been the most significant commercial sponsor to announce backing of a team. It's a brick in the wall, but a significant one, Emirates Team New Zealand boss Grant Doughton said from Auckland. There have been speculations that Emirates might not return as the team's top sponsor, perhaps forcing the Kiwis to drop out. Orca Team USA, which stunned the Kiwis with a dramatic comeback to defend the America's Cup in 2013, picked Bermuda to host the 2017 regatta, causing sponsorship problems for teams and the event itself. Emirates does not fly to Bermuda and thus would have no direct marketing tie-in. Nobody flies to Bermuda, cracked Doughton, who was among those opposed to the choice of the British territory over San Diego to host the 2017 America's Cup. The first round of the Bermuda Golf Association Senior Championships was completed at the Riddles Bay Golf and Country Club under sunny skies yesterday. Arthur Jones, the defending champion, and Hav Trott were the day one leaders in the men's championship division. Both shot 2 over par 73s, while Timothy James is just 2 shots back on 75. In the ladies division, Katrin Burney is leading the field after shooting a round of 10 over par 82. She holds a 6-stroke lead over Ann Simons, who shot 16 over par 88. Betty Ann Sudbury is in third with a round of 20 over par 91. The Bermuda Cricket Board's 2020-2014 season came to an end, and the 2015 one got underway this past weekend while the Bermuda national cricket team completed the ICC America's Division I 2020 World Cup qualifiers in Indianapolis. Following all three, we now bring you a look at the top performers of the past week. In the batting department, for Craig Crockwell from St. David's Cricket Club had the best weekend, scoring 80 runs against Flats Victoria. Crockwell then also made 76 playing against Willacotts. The former Bermuda captain David Hamp scored 72 against Suriname. George O'Brien, representing St. David's Cricket Club, returned the best bowling figures of the week. He had figures of 1.3 overs, 3 wickets for 5 runs, while figures of 4 overs, 3 for 8 saw Wilbur Burt from Devonshire Recreation Club record the second best figures of the week. 3 bowlers finished with 3 wickets for 9 runs. Naquan Smith from Western Stars had figures of 4 overs, 3 for 9, while St. David's Cricket Club pair of O'Brien Jr. and Rudal Pitcher had figures of 3 overs, 3 for 9. Meanwhile, Terran Frey and Kamal Levrock suited up for Newport Cricket Club Wales first 11 against the Ponderus Cricket Club. Newport won the toss and elected to field, and they bowled their opponents all out for 131. Levrock finished with figures of 9 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 18. In reply, Newport were bowled all out for 122, falling 9 runs short of their target. Frey, batting in the number 4 spot, was trapped LBW for 12, having faced 17 balls, hitting 2 fours, while Levrock was trapped LBW on the first ball he faced. Tyrone Smith competed at the 57th Annual MT SAC Relays, where the world's best athletes compete. Smith competed in the men's long jump invitational, where he finished 4th with a top leap of 7.97 meters. The 2015 Bermuda inline skating hockey season got underway last evening at the PCC hockey rink, where the Paget Pistols came from 2-0 down to defeat the Somerset Snappers 8-5. The Somerset Snappers, at the end of the first period, held a 2-0 lead with goals from Matt Katz and Christopher Jackson. But the Paget Pistols scored 5 times in the second period and restricted the Somerset Snappers to 1 goal as they took a 5-3 lead into the final period. Finding the back of the net twice for the Paget Pistols in the second period were Adam Mattal and Joe Neal, while Chris Gentier added the other. The Somerset Snappers' lone goal came off the stick of Matthew Benson. Early in the third period, the Somerset Snappers drew level at 5-5 when Christopher Jackson scored back-to-back goals to complete his hat-trick. But Neal and Mattel would both add a goal each for the Paget Pistols to complete their hat-tricks, and Billy Callock added another for the Paget Pistols in the win. In the nightcap, the St. George's Generals defeated the Pembroke Pirates 9-5. Just like in the opening game of the season, the team that went ahead in the first period ended up on the losing end. The Pembroke Pirates held a 3-0 lead at the end of the first period with goals from Matthew Desjardins, Jacob Armlin, and Warren Miller. St. George's Generals outscored the Pembroke Pirates 4-2 in the second period as the Pirates took a 5-4 lead into the final period. The St. George's Generals got a hat-trick from Jeff Clare and a single goal from Andrew Carnall. Adam Smith and David Provost scored a goal each for the Pembroke Pirates. The St. George's Generals then would score 5 unanswered goals in the third period, with Clare scored his 4th of the game. Carnall scored twice to complete his hat-trick, while James Amaral and Owen Cease scored a goal each for the winners. The Bermuda Football Association announced it is hosting a FIFA Grassroots Festival for girls this coming Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the BFA Field. Girls aged 5 to 12 are welcome to participate. The festival will host a series of fun skill challenges, drills, and small-sided games. The participants from this week's women's coaching course will be on hand at the Grassroots Festival to help lead the day's activities. I'm Earl Basden reporting for VSB Sports.
Looking at the weather for Wednesday, May 13th, there will be a mix of sun and cloud, with a few showers arriving after midnight. Winds will be southwesterly, light to moderate. increasing west-southwesterly and moderate in the evening. We are expecting a high near 76 Fahrenheit and a low near 68 Fahrenheit. This weather forecast is the courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thanks for watching Vsb News Online for Tuesday, May 12th. I'm Peter Cattell.